Do you miss your mom, Dee Dee?
Yeah, I miss my mom.
In today's video, we are shedding light on Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who finally exposes her darkest truths. Don't forget to subscribe to Stellar Fame and click on those notifications to stay updated. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, a Missouri teenager, was convicted in 2015 for orchestrating the murder of her medically abusive mother. She has been released from prison after serving 8 years. The case gained widespread media attention, resulting in numerous documentaries and a Hulu series. Blanchard, now 32, directed her online boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, to fatally stab her mother, Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard. The teenager is thought to be one of the most high-profile cases of Munchausen syndrome. Her mother's false claims of various illnesses led Gypsy to undergo unnecessary surgeries and take medications with harmful side effects. Dee Dee Blanchard was discovered on the morning of June 14, 2015. She was stabbed 17 times in her sleep by Nicholas Godejohn, who is currently serving a life sentence without parole. Dee Dee had cultivated a public image as a devoted caregiver to her chronically ill daughter. She appeared in local media and enjoyed benefits such as charity-funded trips or concerts and Disney World. The shocking murder came to light when a Facebook account shared by Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose posted a disturbing statement: "That bitch is dead." The local community was stunned by the brutality of the crime. They prompted widespread speculation about the circumstances leading to it. Greene County Sheriff Jim Arnott, addressing reporters early in the investigation, emphasized that things are not always as they appear. The dark saga that culminated in the murder began 2 decades earlier, when Gypsy was just 3 months old. At that time, her mother informed doctors that the infant was experiencing difficulties with breathing, setting the stage for the twisted events that unfolded over the years. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's journey into a web of fabricated illnesses began with a false diagnosis of sleep apnea. For this, she was provided a breathing apparatus. This marked the initial instance of Dee Dee Blanchard falsifying her daughter's medical conditions. Under the relentless influence of her mother's deceit, Gypsy was compelled to use a wheelchair from a young age. Dee Dee informed the family that Gypsy had a chromosomal disorder, purportedly restricting her mobility. As the years passed, the list of supposed ailments that Dee Dee attributed to her daughter continued to grow. Gypsy was falsely claimed to be battling leukemia and muscular dystrophy, with Dee Dee asserting that she possessed the mind of a 7-year-old. The extent of the deception included shaving Gypsy Rose's head to mimic the effects of leukemia. It enforced continuous wheelchair use, mandated the use of a breathing machine during sleep, and even orchestrated the removal of her salivary glands. Dee Dee's elaborate scheme to maintain the illusion of her daughter's severe health issues painted a distressing picture of manipulation and abuse. Dee Dee Blanchard appeared to derive a sense of control from manipulating and fabricating disorders for her daughter. Her past included being estranged from her family, as suspicions arose that she may have been responsible for her own mother's death by withholding food. Despite the fact that many of the disorders attributed to Gypsy Rose were entirely fictional, the frequent hospital visits led Gypsy to being prescribed a multitude of medications, which had severe repercussions on her health. For instance, a diagnosis of epilepsy resulted in the prescription of Tegretol. It is a medication that caused Gypsy's teeth to fall out. Dee Dee went to extreme lengths. She fitted a feeding tube to Gypsy's wheelchair, even though Gypsy had the ability to eat and drink normally. Given Dee Dee's background as a former nurse, she was adept at convincing some doctors of her daughter's supposed symptoms. Her strategy involved cutting ties with any medical professionals who questioned her or offered contradictory results. It ensured that her deceptive narrative continued unchecked. The disturbing pattern of control, manipulation, and medical maltreatment created a harrowing environment for Gypsy Rose. Dee Dee Blanchard's manipulation extended to using specific medications to induce symptoms in her daughter, such as applying topical anesthetic to numb Gypsy's gums, resulting in drooling. As a reminder, if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for even more celebrity news. As Gypsy Rose entered adolescence, her mother tightened control. She convinced her that she couldn't move or function without her. When questioned about why she didn't expose her mother's lies, Gypsy Rose explained that she lived in a state of confusion and deceit. She expressed fear and a lack of trust, stating, "I couldn't just jump out of the wheelchair because I was afraid, and I didn't know what my mother would do. I didn't have anyone to trust." In a potentially pivotal moment signaling Gypsy Rose's desire to break free from her mother's control, she attempted to escape during a science fiction convention in 2011, running away with a man she had met online. However, Dee Dee swiftly located her in a hotel room. Despite Gypsy Rose being 19 at the time, Dee Dee produced falsified paperwork claiming that Gypsy Rose was a minor, reinforcing the tight grip she had on her daughter's life. After their return home from the attempted escape, Gypsy Rose recounted that Dee Dee smashed her computer with a hammer. She also subjected her to 2 weeks of being restrained and handcuffed to her bed. The following year, Gypsy Rose managed to navigate online spaces, predominantly using the internet while her mother was asleep to avoid detection. Despite her uncertainties about her true age and the myriad of lies surrounding her health, she sought connections outside her sheltered life by joining a Christian dating site. It was through this platform that she encountered Godejohn. In 2015, 3 years after their initial online meeting, Gypsy Rose and Godejohn arranged to meet in person. Eager for her mother's approval, Gypsy Rose orchestrated a seemingly spontaneous encounter with Godejohn at a cinema screening of Cinderella. While her mother was present, Gypsy Rose excused herself for a bathroom break. During this, she reportedly engaged in a sexual encounter with Godejohn in the stalls. Following this meeting, the couple began planning Dee Dee's murder. It was driven by Gypsy Rose's revelations of the lifelong abuse she had endured. In a Discovery ID documentary, Gypsy Rose recalled the moment the plan took shape. She stated that during a conversation, Godejohn expressed his willingness to do anything to protect her. It leads to the development of a murder plot. According to Fox 4, Gypsy Rose sent money to Godejohn to facilitate his travel from Wisconsin to her home in Missouri, and reportedly stole a knife from Walmart for use in the attack. Godejohn arrived at the family home in Springfield in June 2015, but the exact date of the attack is unclear, as Dee Dee was found lying in a pool of her own blood several days later. Godejohn entered the home after Dee Dee had gone to sleep. Gypsy Rose, with her hands over her ears, hid in the bathroom to mask the noise of the brutal stabbing. Gypsy Rose explained to ABC News that her desire for her mother to die was not fueled by hatred, but rather a desperate yearning to escape her oppressive control. For this, they were sentenced to prison. The case of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and the tragic events that unfolded in her life raised profound questions about the complexities of abuse, manipulation, and the search for freedom. The story unveils the disturbing lengths to which a caregiver can go to control and exploit another person. It prompts us to consider the vulnerability of those who are subjected to such manipulation, as well as the importance of vigilant oversight by medical professionals and social services to protect individuals from abuse. The impact of this case extends beyond the courtroom, sparking conversations about mental health, societal expectations, and the responsibility of those in positions of authority to intervene. What are your thoughts on the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case? How do you believe society can better prevent and address instances of Munchausen syndrome by proxy and similar forms of abuse? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and watch this one as well.